Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah! Ukraine's Go A knows how to celebrate a spring festival, and their song Shum is all about rebirth, revitalization, coming to life after winter. The question is, are you warming up to the song? Should we talk about it? Let's
Let's
do
do
this!
this.
Заплетися, шуми, заплетися, барвіночком шуми застелися, сію, 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 конопилички, сію, 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 зеленесенький.
Yes, Shum has taken many forms. There was an original version released, which Eurofans absolutely loved, but then the lyrics and the song had to be changed to sort of fit with the EBU Eurovision rules, and so we got a second version. Now, we need to remember, voters watching the show, the vast majority of them will not have heard the first version. So I am trying to delete that from my mind and focus on this version. And I've got to say, I still love this version. This is so weird. Go A mix Ukrainian folk music with EDM, almost house club music. And it's this mix which is so different, so original, so wild, and ultimately so Eurovision that is giving me life. And life is important. In their music video, they show Chernobyl. It's a sign, yes, Ukraine has been through a lot, but guess what? We are back, hunties. I love how this video captures the rebirth, the renewal, going from frozen to having a little fire to celebrating life and all its colors. Some people will call this wackadoodle crazy weird what? But that's what we live for. Strip that away. If you listen to this a few times, you realize it's very serious music. It's good. This is complicated, and I have got to hear what Jonathan in the UK has to say.
I'm really glad that Ukraine are giving Goe their chance at Eurovision after not quite getting there last year due to the pandemic. I think this is a really great addition to the lineup, and to me stands out amongst everything else in the competition, all 39 songs. I think Goe deliver such a unique blend of music, and even since they Solove, it's just been a bit irresistible, and I love the way that they're coming from. I think they are just a really special sort of band, and I'm really glad that we have this in the contest. I do slightly worry to some extent, and I think that the fact that we might need to face is that this is going to get most of its support from Eastern Europe, because general people in the West, or at least in the UK, this is going to be completely new for them. We do not hear this sort of music on the radio here in the UK. It is not something that viewers will necessarily automatically gravitate towards per se. And I think obviously, Eastern European folk songs have done well in the past at Eurovision, and there's no reason why I can't see Shum doing well also. There's just this part of me that worries about it slightly, and even though I would love for them to do so well, there's just this niggling feeling that hopefully will be proved wrong, and they will rise up and do really well.
Interesting point. I'm going to break the clockwise motion I was following and go to Sinan, because you're originally from Bulgaria, and so you understand sort of how these folk sounds translate across borders. Please give us your perspective.
That's why I really like this song. I'm really happy that they are back, for Ukraine, because not every participant from last year had this chance, to go again for Eurovision. And I love Katerina's ethnic voice. I love when she sings this way. It's like we sing also in Bulgarian folklore the same way. Even, of course, we have a little bit different, but it's still like it. And but I think I prefer the first version of Shum. I don't know why. Maybe because I have listened it more uh, before we got the short version because of the EBU rules. They needed to cut it. But I'm happy that the last part where she's like "Ee," that was too long on the first version. I was worried that she couldn't make it live, because it is so long. And then yeah, but now it's shorter. I think it's perfect like this. And I saw her singing it live. She really kills it live. And actually, you know what? Go A remind me of Elitsa Todorova and Stunji. They were Bulgarians representatives at 27 and 2013 at Eurovision. Water and Samo Championi, only champions.
More ludona do konče jazdi mitrele, mitrele. More konče jazdi moma ljubi mitrele, mitrele.
It's like mixing modern sounds with folklore. And I was so happy that it reminded me, because Water is one of my favorite Bulgarian songs ever in Eurovision. It was so amazing. Yeah. And I think that this song is a little bit darker than Soloway. I don't know why, but it feels darker for me. Maybe because the artwork for Soloway was with bright colors and with the bird, live thing. But this one is a little bit darker, also the artwork. But I like it. I really like it.
Now, Sinan, I just want to get one other opinion from you. Also in the semifinal, we've got Russia, North Macedonia, Romania, Azerbaijan. Do you, in your regional knowledge, do you think any of these cultures or countries or voters will respond to this sound?
North Macedonia, 100%. Azerbaijan could also respond because her song is also, ethnical, some kind, also with, mixed with modern sound, and Israel as well.
Oh, yes,
But
they're
not,
here.
yes, but not exactly this kind of ethnic sound. But still, I think they could respond. Also, Croatia, also have, this kind of folklore music. Yeah, I think that's it. Romania, not sure about this, but they have also, likewise.
Thank
Um,
you so
sound.
much, Mr. Worldwide. All right, we return to the UK, to Oliver Adams, not my brother. I was going to say something witty and I forgot. Please proceed.
I really like this. I was very, very apprehensive because I didn't like Solovey one bit. I really thought Ukraine's 100% final qualification record could have been in danger with that song, but this is really, really good. I love that they are mixing these folklore elements with more modern sounds. I think that's always a strong route to go down because it is so unique. However, we also have to look at over here in the West, mixing country and folk with pop music isn't that abstract. Look at Old Town Road, right? Like that kind of thing. It's a similar fusion of genres, just adapted for a different part of the world. And I love that they're showing us on this stage everything they're capable of. I love the aesthetic of it, hazmat suits, the weird post-apocalyptic chitty chitty bang bang moment with that car. Like, it's every turn of the page, every corner, it throws something new at me. And I just love that. The penny whistle and the jaw harp, incredible. I will say my critique of it, and this probably does come from listening to the earlier version, but you can tell that this was a 4-minute song that has been condensed to a 3-minute song, because the way it builds is a little bit jarring at points, especially with the white voice that I know a lot of people won't be able to get on board with. But regardless of that, if you can convert me, who was somebody that didn't like Solveig one bit, and I didn't think I was going to like this, a lot of people are going to respond to this. I think this is great.
So while you were talking, I wrote the word, you can't really see that. It says Poland. And because Tulia, of course, were supposed to make the final their year, but then there was a calculation error, so I think they missed it by, one place. And they, of course, sang in the white voice. I think that Shum from Ukraine, because it has the EDM element, makes the white voice more palatable to a big audience. And to your point, you're exactly right. The mixture of kind of, country and pop works. So I think this actually is quite palatable. And it sounds like nothing else in this semi-final. Yes, Azerbaijan is serving ethnic sounds. Eden is from Israel serving some ethnic sounds. But I just feel like this stands out. It pops out and it's performing next to last. The final four in this are Romania in 13, Azerbaijan in 14, Ukraine in spot 15, and then Malta in 16. This comes near the end of the show. It'll be in people's mind as we go into the voting segment. My cat, whenever he lifts his leg, I think of RuPaul's Drag Race when they hit the floor. Forgive me, I'm so distracted. I have a feeling this is going through. It deserves to go through in my mind. At Eurovision, you have to take risks. They're taking a risk. I think that jurors will actually be impressed with Katarina's live vocal. It's just so different. It really pops out, even surrounded by strong songs, even after the ethnic, magic of Azerbaijan and before the power that is Destiny. I think the end of the show is just really strong, and I hope they're going through. Jonathan, are they going through?
I really hope so. I do really, really hope so. And I think they have a strong chance of getting through. I think it builds perhaps a bit too slowly at some points. So I think it's a case of our viewers going to stick with it for the whole 3 minutes, because once it really gets going, it really gets going. And I really love the ending. I think perhaps my niggling points come from when they performed Solveig at Vidbeer last year. It was very static. Katarina was just stood there. We had some shoulder movements, and then the band were just stood there. And I feel like if viewers just sort of see them doing that for sort of the whole 3 minutes of Shum, then it might not go where it needs to be going. So I think if they can bring something to it, so maybe I'd quite like to see them have one of the dancers on stage in hazmat suits and then take it off and start dancing and going crazy and everything. I think that'd be really fun and possibly really iconic staging, really. So yeah, I do think they have a strong chance of going through, and I would love them to go through.
C9.
Oh, I'm not sure. I can't say if they will go through or they will, not be non-qualified. But of course, I want them to go because look at this: Croatia, Belgium, Israel, Romania, Azerbaijan, Ukraine, Malta. They all deserve to go.
This is tough.
It will be so hard, for the people. But yeah, I do hope that they, go to the final. And as Jonathan said about that, with the dancer, that will be amazing. I mean, I never thought of something like this, but because of Corona, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't be able to do something like this, or maybe virtually, with the backdrop, LED screens or something like that. Like Polygenova in 2016, she had thousands of dancers. Maybe something like this will be nice to see.
All right, we move on to Oliver.
This is going through, no question. I think the running order is being really helpful to Ukraine. There's a darker reverence that people are really going to respond to, and there's a weirdness, but the quirkiness of it doesn't feel inaccessible. The move they do with the arms folded and the hips shake, people are going to love that. People are going to want to stand up and do that with them. I think this is going through to the final, and I actually think this could be pushing for the top 10.
Thank you for that spirited description. It is now time for us to go around and give our scores out of a 10 along with a justification. I am going to kick this off with a solid 7.5. I think it's memorable. I think it stands out. I think it's musical. And I think it's quirky and risky, which I love and respect. You've got to dare to be different at Eurovision, and they are doing exactly that. I want to see this in the final. Jonathan.
I will take your score and match it. It is a 7.5 for me as well. I have increasingly fallen in love with Ukrainian music over recent years, and I think this just embodies everything that is so amazing about their music industry, and it just, it mixes so many wonderful elements together, and yeah, it's just a real standout for me.
Yes, King. C9.
Okay, like the song very much, love Katarina's voice, and my score is 7 out of 10.
Oliver, it comes down to you.
My score is also a 7 out of 10. I think I would have put this a bit higher if they had more time, but again, the restrictions leading this to build as quickly / as jarring as it can be at sometimes, I still really like this. 7 out of 10, good score.
All right. Well, we, of course, are not the only Wiwibloggs. There are dozens all over the world, and they have also given their scores out of 10. And when we calculate the overall global average, we get 7.32. This is an excellent score. It is so hard to get above a 7 when you're dealing with so many people across so many different countries. Very deserved and looks good for them.
Yeah, totally deserved, and we can see that our Wiwibloggs like it, and yeah, totally deserved. Congrats.
Awesome. Well, that's what we think. What do you think? Are you living for Shum? Do you think that they're headed to the final? Do you think the juries will love Katarina's voice? So let us know here on Wiwibloggs.
Don't forget to write all of your opinions down this video below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel because we have so many things to do for you guys.
And you can follow us on socials at Wiwibloggs on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of it, and of course at wiwibloggs.com.
And make sure you give the video a big thumbs up as well.
We will see you later. Bye.
Bye.